Shalom Akim. Hello, I'm Noah Yahaba Shemi Ashaba Shem Hakudash. And double on Instagrams and apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Thadia Ashab for the strength in order to make this video and Yara Tazar. This will help to open your eyes for those of you your eyes are not open yet when it comes to these type of things. So we'll get straight to it. Don't need to be long. It says she was a man, I was a woman, now we're in love. And of course you see from the hashtags what this is about. You know, the last two hashtags there. You know, Transformers and the alphabets. That's what this is pushing right now. So really, all in all, the point of this video is to show again why our people need to be judged. Why they gotta be punished, man. Because that relationship is literally an abomination. I'm gonna play it, then Yaratazam just end it off with precepts, because this is actually madness. This is how you know we live in a time of confusion.
This is Sienna. She fell in love with LaShawn. The transgender couple met on TikTok 2 years ago.
Remember, that woman there is a man. That so-called, you see, I said that woman there is a man. Anyway, I mean that's the way I can put it. That so-called woman there is a man, and that man there, that so-called man, is actually a woman. But you know, they're transformed.
And LaShawn was like commenting, and I wasn't really paying it any mind. But then the comments were like, girl, go look at his page. And I saw this handsome gentleman here. We get a lot of judgment on social media, and trolls a lot of the times will say that we're confused about our gender.
And despite proudly sharing their transgender journeys, they often face backlash.
What's mad is that it would be very hard to tell. I could even tell. That's how you know we're living in times of confusion. Obviously, certain bros, they could discern it. You know, Yara Tazar, you know, gotta pray for that spiritual discernment, man. But damn, I had no idea.
It really gets dark on TikTok. The comments were just nasty.
Anybody that's not trans wouldn't understand what it feels like to literally feel like you're in
The fact that they're both Jake, you know, he still knows what he's doing when he's pushing this out there, man. You know, how's the people become a degenerate plant, as the scriptures say?
wrong body. Like to literally look at yourself in the mirror and see someone that looks foreign to you.
That's mad, though. We're living in an age where just with surgery, which you could even liken as a form of witchcraft, considering the level of deception that this is on. Just with surgery, a man turns into a woman, and a woman turns into a man. Anyways, let's finish off with the precepts. Jeremiah 2 and verse 21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? In the NLT. But I was the one who planted you. I, meaning Yahweh, you know, Bashem Yahushai, who planted you, choosing a vine of the purest stock, the very best. How did you grow into this corrupt wild vine? You know how Israel grew into that corrupt wild vine? They took up the philosophies of the world, the ways, the ideologies, the ways of thinking of the world, which are corrupt, which pertain to the flesh. And what we just saw, what we just witnessed from that, from these lot here, you know, is it's an abomination. You know, that's how they got corrupted, through the influence of Esau Eden, pushing Transformers and the alphabetism. That's a word that you could refer to that group. And it's June. Fortunately, it's getting past June right now, because, you know, June, they call it Pride Month. But anyways, that pride, you know, that's a signature for the downfall to come, man. Because, you know, you have flipping Pride Month now, man. And, you know, pride comes before destruction. So let's get down quickly and then end off with a few more. So Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall. So just know, when they start to get more prideful, which that Pride Month is an indicator of, just know they are imminent or very close to destruction. Alright, let's get to this. Let me read this. So Ephesians 5 and 6, it says, "Let no man deceive you with vain words," again, the influences, the ideologies, the philosophies of the world. "For because of these things cometh the wrath of the Most High." Did we not read in Proverbs 16 verse 18, "Pride cometh before destruction"? So that destruction comes from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, "Cometh the wrath of the Most High upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers of them with them in being disobedient." Verse 8, "For ye were sometimes darkness." Ye were sometimes darkness, so we were in darkness, giving into the flesh too much, killing ourselves, metaphorically speaking, or literally as well. "But now are ye light in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, walk as the children of light." So essentially, as we gain more wisdom, we gain more knowledge in these scriptures, we ought to apply it as well to improve our lives too. And of course, again, a just man falleth 7 times, but again, we ain't talking about this bullshit. When you make your mistakes, you make your mistakes. For example, let's say on the Sabbath you go do some shopping for some food. Again, you pray for mercy to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, or maybe you go to work on a Sabbath. So again, a just man falleth 7 times. Sometimes it escapes your mind that it's the Sabbath, or some certain things that you aren't supposed to do, then you did. But again, you gotta pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushua for mercy. Now, but as for this right here, that's an abomination. Let me read this. Deuteronomy 22 and 5, it says, "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto Yahweh thy power." Why do you think Esau Edom, when it comes to making Jake selling out for money, he tries to get these athletes to wear dresses? People say, yeah, it's a trend and what, and it's like, no. They're trying to make Jake go against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Put 2 and 2 together, man. There's a reason why Jake, who sells out on the left-hand side, they have to pay that cost, and that cost is in direct proportion or in direct representation of going against Yahweh Shem Yahushua, as we just read here. A woman shouldn't wear a man's clothing, and a man should not wear a woman's clothing. That's an abomination in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Now let's see. 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. "For the Most High is not an author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints." Simple as that. He's made the order ought to be followed. And anyone who goes against that order, it's a wrap. Then you go, again, the children of disobedience, they get the wrath of the Most High. As we read before in Ephesians 5 and 6. 5 and 6 to 8. So Ephesians 4 verse 22, then I wrap it up. It says, so Ephesians 4 and verse 22, "That ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to deceitful lusts." An example of deceitful lust is this nonsense right here, man. Imagine. It's madness. That's this is one of those scenarios where, yes, you generally got to describe it as madness, because it goes against Yahweh Shem Yahushua at an immense level. Anyways, man, we'll wrap up there. That's it, man. We'll wrap it up there. Hold on, let me check something. So yeah, that's it. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatha, Shalom, and Yaratazah. Of course, keep your mind strong, pray, and man, pray for mercy, pray for strength, so that the philosophies of these world, so-called influences, don't affect you, man. Stay strong. So, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatha.